you just have to be close to the stock exchange, right? You co-locate in the MEV HFT world. It's called co-locate. Put a server right next to it. You get a millisecond, nanosecond uh, latency to the stock exchange. Now you can place an order quite quickly. Now, when you look at a blockchain, what happens is blockchains are geo-distributed. Their validators or the person who's supposed to order the block could come from anywhere in the world, right? So what you have to do is you have to first probabilistically determine where the leader is going to be, the person who's going to order the block, and then you have to send your transaction from your server to the leader as quickly as possible. So this is what Astralane essentially does, is we take your transaction, we get it to the leader as fast as possible. Um, sorry, we have multiple paths to the leader. We essentially multiple endpoints all across the world which broadcast your transaction. So we want to be close to you and also to the leader. So our geo-distributed network, then we have multiple stake-weighted routes as well. So this is essentially what we do. We have a lot of other services as well. So we have shreds, which essentially give you access to data quite quickly, but little less about what the company does. The importance of this particular workshop is to see what can we build on within the MEV landscape, right? So the MEV landscape, how many of us know what MEV is? You know, what is MEV?
MEV is when you track value from like ordering transactions.
Okay. So the gentleman here said that MEV is essentially when the leader can extract value from ordering of the transactions, right? So that is one part of MEV, but MEV could also mean that not just the leader, anybody who sees your transaction from the point of origination to when it goes to the leader and leader ordering, anybody in the middle could essentially take value out of your transaction, right? So there's good MEV, there's bad MEV, right? A good MEV is when essentially somebody is giving a better price and essentially arbitraging after the transaction itself. That is good MEV, right? The user's transaction is not hurt. So any arbitrage after the user's transaction does not change the price of the source transaction itself. That's good MEV. There is no problem in doing that. Bad MEV is essentially when you sandwich, right? So we can go into, let's go into a little bit of bad MEV. What does bad MEV look like? So this is a sandwich.me detector, right? A lot of people might have seen this. So essentially what is happening here is this is a bot which is essentially sandwiching a victim. So these are the victim transactions. What you can see here is the bot goes before and after. So it's going to buy before and sell after. And then this is a typical sandwich attack, right? And this is bad MEV in front of you and is quite profitable. And this is not what one should be doing. Good MEV is when you do an arbitrage, which is right after it. So there's a lot of money that can be made in MEV. If you look at the arbitrage dashboard, there is multiple dashboards that are there. There's like circular.fi. It's one of our friends who built this dashboard. You can see how much money is being extracted from just doing arbitrages. So that's there. And if you were to build a bot like this, you would need a service like Astralane, which would take your transaction and take it to the leader as quickly as possible. Any questions up till now as to what MEV is and what?
So are any of the bad actors using your services to get speed of transaction?
We have something called MEV Protect. So we actually look at the flow quite frequently to try to understand if there are bad actors at play. So I'll get back to the flow of the presentation. So why would a developer need to use a service like us, right? So let's say, how many of you have used a trading terminal like Axiom, Partray, and all of that to buy a meme coin? You guys. So if you were to build a trading terminal, you would need a service like us to essentially make sure your customers can get the transactions included in the block as quickly as possible. Because what the trading terminal is selling to the customer at the end of the day is the fact that they can essentially get your transaction processed quickly, right? So that's one use case. You could build a trading terminal. That could be your project for Colosseum. You could also build a copy trading bot. So what a copy trading bot does is you look at somebody's wallet and you're like, this wallet is trading quite well, makes a lot of money. PNL is good. I want to trade like him, right? So to do that, you need two things. You need to be able to copy the wallet's trades. So you should have access to the stream of transactions before it gets included on the chain, and then you need to be able to essentially post the transaction on the chain as well, right? So you need access to something called shreds. So shreds are essentially unconfirmed states of the chain that gets released by the leader every 20-30 milliseconds or so, and we also have access to those. So I'll at the end I'll show you how you can get access to shreds, build something with it. So with the shreds you see the transaction, and then you, with our send transaction endpoint, you can actually send transactions through. um, why this matters in place, what does Astralane do? So we, as I said, we route the transactions through the fastest path. We submit. How we do it, and that's the answer to your question. How we do it is essentially we submit it through multiple paths. We submit it through Gito, submit it through Harmonic. We are crafting the transaction in a way that the leader is bound to accept it. So if you use us, I'll show you some stats. So if you use us, your transaction within P90 is 90 percentile, gets included in the same slot. The inclusion rate is jumps from 70% to 95%. You can copy trade within the same slot. So which means within 400 milliseconds, you have the ability to look at somebody's transaction and then do the transaction as well, right? So you're able to copy trade and get the price almost at the same price as the user that you're copy trading. And then we also have a map protect endpoint, which allows you to send transaction in a way where your transaction has the least likelihood of getting MEV. So this is your app, whatever you're going to be building. So it could be a trading bot. You use Astralane Iris, and then you send the transaction through to the leader. You could use multiple endpoints that we have, and then between this, if you use our MEF protect endpoint, you're more than likely to not have been sandwiched, because we do not send your transactions to the leaders that are known to sandwich. That's how we protect you as well. So we have multiple ways to do that, and that's all written in the docs. You can just feed it into Cloud Code. It would know what to do. Um, so I'll keep it quite short. I'm gonna, before I go into a small live demo, I would just want to know, does anybody have any questions till now? No? Okay, perfect. So we also have super team member perks before I go into the live demo. So all the hackathon participants get 1 month free access to the starter plan, which is $249 a month. It gives you access to 10 transactions per second. So you can build an app which can do 10 transactions per second, and it doesn't cost you anything. It gives you priority pool, so it's fast transaction landing and all of that. Super team members get access to the scale plan. The scale plan has access to the shreds as well. So you would be able to do a copy trading use case as well. So the way you do it is you can go to portal.astralane.io, join the Discord, get a free API key generated for you. Just go to Discord and then go on the support ticket and say that you're a hackathon member or a participant, right? That's how you get access to the API. These are various QR codes that you can get. So if you want to go to the portal, you just scan this QR code, which would get you access to the API key. If you want to go to the docs, this QR code, the Discord is on this QR code. And then the live demonstration, how many of you have Cloud Code and laptops right now? One. Yeah, you want to do live? Okay, perfect. So what we're going to be building is essentially this. So we're going to be building a sniper bot on some fun, right? So very quick, 10 minutes, not more than that, right? You can time me. Yeah, you can time me. Yeah. So um, before we start, I'll just explain what the bot does, right? So the point of the bot is just gonna, you give it a pool, it will take the target, which is the token that you want to buy. It's going to buy the transaction, same slot, and sell it after 5 seconds. And you can essentially set these parameters as well. So on the env file in the, so I have a couple of things. So I have an env file, and then I have a prompt that you can just copy and paste into Claude Code along with the repo. So you just have to tell Claude Code, take the prompt, take the repo, clone it, please do this. Okay, very simple, right?
Make no mistakes.
Yes, make no mistakes. So you just have to put your wallets when you download the repo. You only have to edit this env file. Here is where you put your private key. You put your Solana RPC link. I always suggest Helios. They're good RPC. They have good RPC. Then you put your target mint. This is the token or the pool that you essentially want to buy, right? So what the bot does is buys, holds it for the seconds that you want it to hold. So this is like auto sell delay. So it's like 5. And then this is the slippage. So this is the accepted slippage that you want on the bot, right? Quite simple. Uh, what you can do is just copy this prompt. So this prompt, just so you know, you like we're not doing anything fishy. The prompt essentially takes the sniper.py, which is the Python file. It is essentially telling Claude Code, take my Astralane key, put it here, add a tip transaction on top, tip transaction on the bottom. The tip is to Astralane because you give us the tip to speed up your transactions, right? As I said, we're a fast lane. And then what it does is it's, as I said, tip transaction, update the banner. That's it. And then it asks it, please run it. See, buy the token, sell the token for me, right? So I've already done it for you. I'm happy to do it again if you'd like. So I started here. It's not a lot of prompting. I started here. I gave it information. I forgot to add the GitHub clone link. Idiot me, right? Then I put the repo link, and what it did was it essentially I added the prompt as well. And then if you see, this is the demo that it did. So it took the target pool, bought it with it, and then after 5 seconds of holding. So this is, you see, there's a 5 second wait. This is 1959. This is all UTC timestamp 1959.05. It just sold the tokens. We can also go back into the Explorer, so you can see this is these are the two transactions where the token was sniped and then it was sold. So who wants to work on the live demo now? I'm happy to help out. Sniper, you can just scan this QR code. This will take you to the repo. Are you building it?
No.
No, you're not. Okay. If you want, I can do it again. Is that a use case you guys are interested in? No?
Um,
Yeah,
in this case, in particular, it's actually to make sure it's just best fit of the transaction itself.
correct.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you would use this to essentially send your transaction as quickly as possible. That's it. Because a lot of the use case depend on you being able to get into the price, get a good price of the token, right? And then be able to sell it. So you can build a copy trading bot, which is looking at somebody else's transactions, looking at the shreds, and then buying it. That's one use case. The other one is essentially you could build a terminal. Like with AI, a lot of these things are so easy that infrastructure is what is between you and your consumers getting good experience. So this is what we provide. At the end of the day, before companies like us existed, if you wanted these HFT like experiences, you would have had to get like a lot of money, pay someone, get a big subscription, and then you could get fast landing on Solana. Like Solana is a quite a fast chain. It's like 400 milliseconds, but getting a transaction confirmed in time is a big problem. That's what we're solving. Any other questions?
Do you guys deploy your
Yes, all our infrastructure is on bare metal. So if you go to docs.astralane.io, I'll just yeah. So as I said, we have like multiple geo-distributed endpoints. So what these do is when you're sending transactions, you could configure any of these endpoints or multiple of them. We recommend clients to send to at least 3 to 4 of the endpoints as well. Usually, when you're building a production app, you would not be sending your transactions through the laptop. You would be having the server. The server would be co-located to one of these endpoints or close to one of these endpoints, and then you can fan out the transaction on across multiple endpoints. So if you go to submit transaction, we have multiple of these endpoints. Send transaction. This is our like fastest execution endpoint. Um, and then you have send bundle. Send bundle allows you to essentially bundle transactions, so it's like atomically executes 4 transactions which you can put. So it uses G2 harmonic and multiple other routes to make that happen.
What would be the advantage of doing bundle?
So let's say you want to launch a pool, you launch a token on PumpFun and you wanted to snipe your own transaction, right? It's a particular use case because whenever you launch a token on PumpFun, external snipers come in and then they would take those tokens away, right? What you do is if you bundle them together, you have the create pool transaction and then you have the buy together, which means the create and they're atomic in nature. Essentially, it means that the create pool would not would not run unless the buy also runs, and then you bad actors would essentially sell it as well, right? So they buy and then they would sell it. It wouldn't do much, but that's one of the use cases. You see on these like dashboards, a lot of people, the arbitrage market is quite big. That's what a lot of our customers do. They essentially are arbitraging multiple pools against each other. If you would want to understand one of these arbs, we could like go into them. Yeah, we could go into what is happening as well. So this is this particular bot. What he's doing is essentially he made about $3,000-4,000 on this particular transaction, and if you see what he's done is essentially swapped W sold to this token Elon on Pump Fun AMM, and then he realized that it's cheap on Pump Fun but expensive on Meteora. So the price of the pools had a discrepancy, and he's essentially just arbed them. To be able to do something like this, what you need is you need access to shreds. Shreds will tell you the pool state, because an arb happens. Why does an arb opportunity get created? It gets created because there was a source transaction which led to the pool imbalance, right? So what would have happened is, and we can go and go together and prove this as well, that somebody must have sold a lot of Elon on Pump Fun before this arb. This is a trigger for this ARB transaction, right? So this ARB bot is essentially looking for big sell events on this token or on all tokens or whatever. And then it's essentially saying, okay, if somebody did it, maybe I should look for the price on Meteora and see if there's an opportunity. Only if there's an opportunity, execute the transaction. So these people, so we're going to do 2 things. We're going to look at this ARB bot's history to see what this guy has been doing. You'll see there's a lot of failed transaction, which means he's doing spray and pray. And then we'll also see where did the source of this ARB come from, right? What was the retail users transaction? This will explain to you why you need shreds to be able to essentially ARB a transaction. So you guys know what a block is, a slot is. Everybody knows how to use the Explorer. So what we're doing is this, we're going into the slot, and we're going to take this transaction hash, um, and then I'm looking for swaps on PumpFun AMM in this slot, right? So this is the slot. I'm gonna pump fun AMM filter. So these are essentially only pump fun transaction on the slot. I just copied it, Control F, Control V. If you see, this is the ARB transaction, right? So anything above it, these could be any of our source transactions which created this arb opportunity, right? So let's see. I'm going to usually I would look for each one of them. So this is not it because that's another token. This is not Elon. Um, this is so not Elon.
So you're saying he's the one that created the opportunity?
No, the opportunity would have to be created. So this is the not just right. It could be multiple transaction above as well. So this is the arb, right? So it could be any of these transactions, which
Shouldn't they be under? Aren't the transaction under it the oldest?
sorry.
Aren't the transaction under the ones that are the oldest?
No, no, no. I think it's the ones above. If you want, we can have a look at this as well. So this particular, there's another way to check it as well. What you could do is we could go to this token history. So this is like Elon token transactions only, right? And then you could just take the timestamp and then look for the arbs around that. So it's like April 15th, 155, right? So um, we do April 15, 01, 55, and what was the second? 34. So let me do 33, and then April 15, 01, 55, 35. So let's look at the arb and look find where it is. So any of these sources could be yes, yes. Which one?
Yeah, the one there is
It would have to be pump fund, right? Because the first transaction is like on the arb is a pump fund transaction itself. Yeah, so it has to be a pump fund transaction. Um sorry,
Yeah, second 33 or 34.
it's you have to look at like a decent duration, right? So this is the arb. Let's look at this. Yeah, this is most likely the source of this arb. So you see this 4NA just before, just around it. So this guy essentially sold the Elon, which was which essentially made the price of the token uh, depreciated the price of the token on pump fund, allowed the arb to happen. So if you had to do this arb as that bot, you would need access to shreds to see the source transaction happening, right? And then you would need access to a low latency transaction sending service to be able to send that transaction as well. So that is what we allow you to do. This is one use case. It's quite easy to build. The pump fun cell, you can just go into Claude Code and you can just say that I want to change it to build a detection where it detects arbs and then reacts on it as well. That's not a problem. So you can yes, you can modify that. That's not an issue. So with the member perks that you've gotten, you would be able to do 10 transactions per second. So that's like you can do like 3 to 5 arbs in a slot, which is decent.
I thought it was like the average.
Um, we could go into yeah. So it's the second thing we had to do, which would answer this question, is to look at this arb bots transaction, right? So a lot of them are going to be failed transactions. So let's look at one of the failed transactions. Failed transaction would fail because he's essentially coded his bot in a way that it fails as soon as the quote, or like it's not profitable for him to execute, is not going to execute. This is why his lot of his transactions fail. This is quite a successful bot, because usually 9 or 10 for from what I see are failed transactions, but this is not. So if you just to answer your question, he just did a transaction 49 seconds ago, right? So
Just now?
just now, yeah, just did now. So on pump fun, 16 seconds ago. So he's just been trading, makes money while you sleep.
I love the
Sorry.
I love the detective work there.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's a thinks I'm a bot, which I'm not. So um, yeah, like you go into a lot of these transactions, but these dashboards are better in detecting them, because essentially they've built the algorithm in a way where they're looking for ARBs. So if you go to sandwich.me, you have ARB dashboard as well. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go there. Yeah, that tab got closed. So you go into atomic ARBs, and then you can see like ARBs are happening all the time, and they're essentially people who are arbing. So this transaction, all of them are arbs, and the top arb programs are here. So they, like, these are the top guys, and we in the MEV world know them by name. So, oh, me and my co-founder talk about this wallet a lot. Crow. So Crow did this, Crow did this. So in our line of business, we are supposed to know what these people are doing. So it's like a daily thing for us. But the point of this workshop is to show you that you could be one of these, right? And make money. Like he's printing $10,000 an hour or something. What's stopping you from doing it? So look at this. Most of his transactions are failing. So he's only going to, sorry, yeah, see, most of them are failing. The only one that's like been successful is this. So you see, and he's literally just making little bits of money. So you have different kinds of bots that are there. But yeah, I know we're running out, on time. So what I'll do is I'll just keep it open for questions. You can ask me if there's an MEV strategy that you thought you would want to do, how to execute it.
Pretty new to all of this, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Very new to the Solana ecosystem and specifically MEV. So my question is Astralane trying to reduce it, redistribute it, or like just help people execute with more, capture it with more efficiency?
So we only allow people to capture good MEV.
Okay.
That's what the way we've done detection systems allows us to do that. But you could use us to swap as well, right? You don't have to use us to just ARB. So ARB bots
Okay.
use us to ARB, but particular user could use us to to swap transactions as well. So Astralane's main motive is IBRL, which is increasing bandwidth, reducing latency across chain. That's what
Okay.
we're doing. So, uh, making slots shorter, getting transactions quicker. That's the name of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious if
Yeah.
you have a take on the current, uh, I guess, war between schedulers that's
Oh
going
yeah.
on. Harmonic, Jito, uh, Rakurai, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They're
So,
good friends.
yeah. Well, what's your take on what's
uh,
going on between them?
let's go into the scheduler wall dashboard. I like it. Scheduler wall dashboard. So just to give context, um, a scheduler is the software that runs on top of a client. A client is what you would run on the leader. Leader is essentially the software would decide how to process transactions which are coming in and how to order them. Now you have multiple different clients, leaders, and all of that. There's wars happening between them. No, I don't call it wars. They're like everybody is trying to make validators more money, and validators make more money when they're efficiently ordering the block. So that is what is happening here. There's two teams which are funded by the foundation and one that is not. Two teams are the Agave team, which is the Anza team, and the other one is G2 Fire Dancer. And then you have new upstarts like Rakurai, who've built their own scheduler. And then you have Harmonic, which is a block builder. Uh, they're affiliated with Temporal uh, as well as Nozomi. So the same guys have Humidify, Temporal, the transaction sending service. Humidify is a prop AMM, and Harmonic is the block builder. So the war essentially is how many validators you can convince to run your client. That's the war. And I like the fact that there are for-profit entities which are not funded by foundation who are coming into the scene, because if we need Solana to grow, the foundation has to have less and less to do with the decentralized chain, right? So if the schedulers itself are a for-profit entity, there is a risk of bad MEV, but on the upside, you also have the benefits of it being a truly decentralized ecosystem, right? So it's good in a way, and there's risks, but I believe that the Solana ecosystem has good social consensus. Social consensus is, you tell Jas is doing bad MEV, Jas will stop doing bad MEV, right? I think there's enough of that, and we all respect each other. So, this bad MEV has gone down in the last year as new schedulers have come up. So I don't see the risk to be there.
Thank you. Do
Yeah.
you think even like MEV as whole can, can it ever realistically become fair, or is it just a game of, privileged access?
But that's what we're doing, right? We're giving privileged access to everyone.
So you're saying it is never going to ever
But
be
if
fair?
everybody has the access to reach to the leader quickly, then it is a fair game, right? In a way, yes, it is. If you have the access, he has the access. You both
Through
can.
you.
No, through many other entities as well. So it's not just us. You have other entities which would allow you to reach the leader as well. So it's always it's a fair game, or it's as fair as it can be, and I think it's getting more and more fairer as well. That's Is it a good answer to the question? Yes.
How will MCP change the way you leader?
A lot of the question was, how will MCP change the way we interface with leaders? So a lot of the details are still up in the air, and the implementation is, I think, later this year. But it would allow for clusters to form all across the world, and it just getting closer and faster to the proposer is still going to be as important as getting close to the leader is today, right? So it gives us more decentralization, faster blocks, and I think it's overall a good way for the ecosystem to grow. Guys, so I'm going to ask a question. What are you, after this workshop, have you, is there a change in the thought process of what to build for Colosseum? If yes, if somebody wanted to share as well.
From the change in the thought process,
Yes.
this question that's coming in my head is what's one MEV strategy that you think is very underrated or underseen right now, which will not be in the next 6 months?
I think a lot of so the arbitrage happens on transactions which are. Do you know bonding curve, graduation?
A bit. Very
Okay, so you have pump fund transactions. After a certain point, the token graduates
Yeah.
and goes on the AMM, right?
Mhm.
Before the graduation, you cannot ARB it because ARB requires two pools,
Yeah.
right? But there are people who are building social consensus strategies, which would, and this is not I'm not saying it's a good strategy or a bad strategy, but what they're doing is they're essentially adding liquidity, which
Before it
gives
graduates.
trust in that particular token.
Okay.
Other people buy it and they sell it before it graduates, or they sell it right after it graduates. We're seeing a lot of that happen, and it's an extractive strategy. It sorry, no, rug pull would be when you are the token creator. This
But
is somebody else.
but then I've heard of like where if you wanted to
Yes.
like make money there, then they create this false network or
Cluster.
yeah, false cluster and go ahead. So are you talking about
It is similar to that, yes.
and you think that's one MEV structure that we can look at?
Yeah, I mean, if the point is just to extract value, yes. But if it's to build a bot
Mm-hmm.
or something which gives access to MEV
Mm-hmm.
for like customers, then you would want to do something else. Like if you see, this is circular.fi, shout out to them. Um, these are essentially bots. Some of them use us as well, which essentially allow you to do MEV. So you can buy a token, ARB a token. You can define your own ARB strategy. So one idea could be to build one of these, where you build a bot which other people can use to
Okay.
ARB transactions by setting parameters, right? So that is what a lot of these bots do. Then you can build a bot which allows other people to snipe transactions, or you can build a bot which allows people to see transactions that are coming and then act on it, right? So multiple of those bots can be built, or you could build a trading terminal, which is somehow different from Axiom. A lot of people have uh, come up with those ideas as well. At the end of the day, making profit is is one of the hallmarks of the Solana ecosystem. Like projects that graduate out of Solana versus the ones that are on other chains, profit making value is a big theme. That is why the ecosystem was able to thrive and survive after FTX. If that happened on another chain, that would have not survived. So it's for Colosseum also. A lot of the judges are going to be looking at how you're going to be revenue positive, and these sort of apps are revenue positive, but they on the flip side they don't have a lot of customer appeal,
Yeah.
right? So, but that's MEV, right? Doesn't have customer appeal, doesn't sound or look that sexy. Any other questions, guys? No? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jazz. Thanks for sticking out for the last workshop of the day. We're going to be open, of course, as late as you want to be if you want to keep working. And yeah, thank you again, Jazz, for presenting from Astralane. If you want to chat with him, he'll be available outside after.